There are two problems. Firstly, we should be selective.
But this is about skills or numbers. Are they a problem? Because there's 400,000
The single most important criteria should be that we want people to come into this country who've got a skill to bring, who economically are going to earn more than £27,500 a year, which means they will be net contributors to the UK economy. We want people who haven't got criminal records. We want people who are going to bring a benefit to the country.
So you would have some... So you check on what they're capable of earning.
But what you do is you give people work permits. You see, what we've done, we've mingled everything. If you want to go to America and get a job with a broadcast station there, off you go, you get a 2-year work permit, you have to have your own medical insurance, or perhaps the firm pay for it, and after 2 years, you're expected to leave. And what we've done is we've merged, because of the EU, the right to work with the right to settle.
OK, but we still haven't got clear whether your objection is to the overall numbers, that there are too many people living in Britain now, because all over
there are too many people.
So getting people out, whatever skills they have, would be a good idea, would it not?
Having people coming with skills is a good thing, but not clearly.
Well, someone's got to go.
Clearly not. Well, you cannot say to people.
Or not come.
You cannot say to people who've come legally that you must go. And I've never advocated that we do that. What I am saying is that it is madness to extend this open border policy, the ability to use the education system and the health system to get 29 million more people in Romania and Bulgaria.
I mean, you mentioned the impact there on kind of social services, on public services there. And I've got a quotation here about the impact of immigration on the existing population. For reasons which they could not comprehend, the indigenous population found themselves made strangers in their own country, their wives unable to obtain hospital beds in childbirth, their children unable to obtain school places, their homes and neighbourhoods changed beyond recognition. I mean, you'd agree with that, would you?
In a lot of England, that's true.
And you know where that's from, don't you?
I don't know.
Enoch Powell's Rivers of Blood speech.
Is it?
So-called Rivers of Blood.
Well, what he was warning about was that if you have a large influx of people into an area that change an area beyond recognition, there is tension. That basic principle is right. The key to the immigration debate is, do our politicians have any control of it or not? And the answer is no. Because we're members of the European Union, we cannot decide as a nation who comes to live, work and settle in our country.
So you've got to get us out of the EU. It's the only answer, from your point of view.
If you want to control immigration policy, you cannot do that and stay a full member of the European Union.
OK, and what then happens to those, because looking at your policy, those EU nationals, we've left the EU, those EU nationals who haven't lived here for 7 years, they have to go. They're not allowed work permits, are they?
As I said earlier, you cannot say to people who came legally, you should not be here. I mean, that would be an unconscionable thing for any political party to do. What we're going to have to do is work out benefit entitlement, and I think this needs redefinition. I mean, Mr. Cameron is saying that EU migrants should not get benefits for 5 years. For 3 months.
No, but it's just
I would have thought 5 years.
It's just this.
He was one of the first Romanians to land here when immigration rules were relaxed. But just 5 days in, Victor's already looking for a new job after the one he was counting on fell through. So far, he's feeling confident.
I have a lot of skill, and I am an electrician, I am an alpinist, I am a mechanical, I work on construction in my country, and I know to make a lot of things. And it's impossible to don't find a job.
And if you can't find a job, will you go on benefits or will you go home?
I go home, but I don't believe I don't find a job.
And how long would you wait until you decide to go home if you can't find one?
Maybe 2 weeks.
The prediction the UK labour market would be flooded with Bulgarians and Romanians as soon as restrictions were lifted so far hasn't come true. But many still feel British people will end up paying the price unless the government becomes more selective about who it lets in.
That we want people to come into this country who've got a skill to bring, who economically are going to earn more than £27,500 a year, which means they will be net contributors to the UK economy. We want people who haven't got criminal records. We want people who are going to bring a benefit to the country.
Romanian pop duo The Cheeky Girls have certainly benefited from their move to the UK. For the last 12 years, they've earned and paid taxes here. The message to the UKIP leader is clear.
English people who live here in this country, they want to earn 27,000 a year, and of course they would contribute. I mean, even if you earn 10,000 pounds a year, you do pay your taxes anyway, so you do contribute. I think that that's rubbish.
Stricter controls over migrants' access to the NHS and benefits have recently been rushed through by the government, with warnings numbers could be limited in the future.
When Poland and the other A8 countries, Hungary and others, Latvia, Lithuania, when they joined the European Union and Britain didn't, under Labour, put any controls on at all, 1.5 million people initially came from those countries to Britain. That is a massive population move, and I think we need proper and better controls.
No official estimates have been given for how many Romanians and Bulgarians are likely to come to Britain now the rules have been relaxed. But as an election draws ever closer, all parties are looking to strike the delicate balance between the interests of British workers with the benefits of immigration. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News.